All right, let's go. Coke knows.
Hello and welcome to another Woodshop podcast with Mike Coffey of Coffee Custom Builds, Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, and Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop. You can find us all as well as the podcast on Instagram and YouTube.
Welcome to episode 74 of another Woodshop podcast, where Marty McFly went back in time, changed the past, and now you're all stuck listening to this. Another Woodshop podcast.
Well, that was deep.
Oh, was
you should
it?
call that in as a question. Big thanks to all the members over at patreon.com/another Woodshop podcast. You guys are awesome. Big shout out to Sandy Waterfront. She's a new member of the Man Army. Big thanks to her. I thought I'd get one out of Dan. I was trying to say that. I only threw that in there for a laugh.
Good.
Dan.
You got
he's
it.
just giving me like, he looks like someone just told him Max died. Anyway,
Come on.
he's like,
Don't even put it out there.
don't even put it out there. It's not gonna happen. No. If you want to support the show, you go to patreon.com/another Woodshop podcast and check us out. Another way to support the show that is really effective is to share us in your stories on Instagram or other social media. It's great. We probably should make a Facebook page, huh? Just kidding. No one goes there. So big thanks to all you guys who support the show. It really means a lot to us. So you guys are awesome. Thanks for joining us in the pre-show live. We just did that today. Today was kind of an off day. We're recording on a Wednesday instead of a Thursday. Summertime's always busy. Everyone's got a bunch of stuff going on, so we had to scoot the schedule around a little bit, and we did a little early. Scoot the schedule. We did a little early in the week pre-show podcast live. Is that what we call it? Pre-show podcast live. Podcast pre-show.
I forget what we call
live.
it.
Yeah, the AWP pre-show podcast.
The before show.
The before show.
Anyway,
What is happening?
I don't know. Who even knows?
Stroking out here.
Everything's really tough right now. It's really a struggle. So we didn't have anything else to get to, right? Before the show? Nothing? I mean, before we kick it off here?
Well, there's one thing. 74 is the atomic number of tungsten. So there's that.
Is there anything called Grooveston? Tongue and
groove.
It's a terrible joke.
I got it. I thought it was fire.
Dan
it was
is
great.
pissed.
Dan's reaction, lack of reaction. Really.
I'm really trying to just make Dan laugh tonight, to be honest. He's been sourpuss.
I'm super tired.
He's so
It's
tired.
okay.
He's
to be
super
sleepy.
exhausted from his vacation.
Yeah. No, well, hey, in his defense, anytime you get back from vacation, you need like a day.
Yeah,
I need a vacation from my vacation.
You need a
man.
vacation
I
from
agree.
like brains to reset. So I get it.
I don't disagree. Right now I do, but generally speaking, I don't. No, it's.
I don't disagree. You're just wrong.
And literally walked in the door as we're doing the before show live. So
Before show.
the time
The before four
guess
time.
Yeah, before time. He speaks the true.
True. I don't even know.
You knew what I was getting at.
Yeah.
I forget what that's from.
What's that one movie that was super long and Tom Hanks was in it?
Green
Yeah.
Mile.
Cloud Atlas.
Oh, I never saw that.
Yes.
See it. You want to see it in IMAX. You want to bring your whole family out and go see it.
Sounds great. Sounds like a wonderful Saturday. All right, listen. Dan's gonna sing first right now. Oh my God, it was beautiful, amazing. Everyone's pants blew off.
Fire.
It's crazy. But I think we're just gonna talk about what's on our bench. I'm gonna force Pete to go first. Typically, I'll throw it to Dan, but I'm gonna throw it to Pete first. I'm gonna let Dan kind of collect himself a bit.
I appreciate that.
Joke's on you, skinny boy. By the way, Mike's losing weight. You should watch the video. YouTube.com/C/Another Woodshop podcast. Shameless plug.
Let me give you the /C.
Joke's on you because I actually have a list this time. So,
Joke's on you, fatty.
no, I said skinny because there's less of you. There's less of you. I can't call you fatty anymore. Now it's like, hey, Tubbo.
Joke's on you, less fatty.
Less fatty.
Very, very slightly less fatty.
No, Mike is he's slimming up in his face. You can see it. The beard. It's not just
the
the
face
beard.
is starting to look
It's the
better.
face. No, definitely.
Big face gains.
Yeah, no, man, I'm proud of you. You said you wanted to do it. You're doing it. Proud of you.
I'm
You're eating
very
some good
stubborn,
meals too.
as you know.
Anyways, enough about you, fatty. I got something on my bench.
It's like that Abraham Lincoln skit from the Whitest Kid You Know. You shut up, fat ass. Look at this skinny motherfucker.
Oh my god, that's so good. That brought me back. All right, so I had an exciting week. Lee Ohman was here with his wife Danielle from Regal Street and Regal Street Farmhouse. That's her page. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I am unmurdered. So
The internet is trustable.
not full of killers. You can someone you can trust. So they were awesome to have. Lee is just as awesome as you guys think he is. All those videos that he does every Friday and all that, like that's him. Yeah, he's silly. He's fun. He drinks beer.
No.
So we clicked. He came over for two reasons. So I've
The
been
beer
busting
drinking and the what?
the ribs. The ribs. Yeah, I smoked some ribs.
Pickle
this
Fights.
week. Pickle Fights. Danielle was super
Tickle,
against
not
it.
pickle.
Oh,
Pickle Fights.
well, joke's on you again. We had both.
Yeah, we had tickle and pickle fights.
Pickle fights. Sometimes the pickles tickle. All right, so
Sometimes they intermingled.
Yeah. Sometimes things start as a tickle fight, and sometimes they end as a pickle fight. You just never know. What's going
we had this weird thing. It was a Chinese finger trap, and then we got stuck. Danielle had to help us. All right.
Yeah, that was a lot of Pam
So
cooking spray to get that free.
Anyways,
Helicopter pickle.
where was I? So Lee was here for I've been busting his chops and Danielle's chops for like
We
a
heard.
while. Like anytime he'd be like he cuts those holes by hand for those like Quidditch boards, whatever that. Yeah,
cribbage boards.
Quidditch,
8-inch holes.
Quidditch.
They're like
Quidditch
400
boards.
holes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 400 holes, and he cuts them. He's like, yeah, it takes me
Speaking
half
of
an hour.
400
I'm like, it could take you 5 minutes, and you wouldn't have to do it. You could
5
do
minutes
something
one
else.
time.
time, and that's it. So, the running joke for a while is I keep telling him to get a CNC. His wife keeps yelling at me because they're expensive. So, I knew I was moving into a new house, and I like kind of jokingly, but kind of was like, hey, I have this weird idea. I'm getting a new CNC.
You ever heard of pickle fights?
I've never heard of pickle fights. So it's gonna sound really weird. Hear me out. But at the end of it, you get this. So the idea I hit him with was
You have to lose every game.
every game.
Pickle fight.
Someone has to lose.
Pete can't get rid of his belt. He's got to retain the belt. The
Yeah.
belt
Pickle
champion.
champion. You know what's
Pickle
funny is like
champion of New Jersey.
I have pickles pickling in my kitchen right now. It's
Huge Texas belt buckle with a big old pickle on it.
it's a pickle.
It's just encased in lucite. It's like a
No, it's total boat epoxy. I did a
It's
single
total boat
pour.
epoxy. Slow.
Yeah.
Thick set.
It's green glitter and then just total boat epoxy. You know it's thick set. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, it's thick
Anyways,
set for
too
that
much
pickle.
giggling. Now that half the people stop listening, let's get to the real woodworking stuff. So I hit him up one day and I go, hey, I'm getting a new CNC. I can
And guess
sell
what?
mine.
So are you.
I could sell mine, and that's I could get probably for this one $1,200 or $1,500, whatever it might be. And then I would have to pay someone because I wasn't comfortable hooking up a sub panel on my new house. And I was like, I would have to pay someone probably $1,500 at least to hook up a panel and get all this stuff ready for me to wire it up and then do all the work myself. Or I would love to bequeath upon you the CNC.
Ugh.
It's a word. Google it. I said Google
No.
instead of Bing. Oh well, I slipped up
Well,
once.
No. I think you said the word wrong, though. Bequeath
Yeah, bequeath.
or bequeath with a TH?
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, you said it with an F.
Yeah, I know what I said. I know what
You
I
said it with an F. Roll
I
the
know what I
tape.
said.
Roll the tape. Roll the tape back.
Hold my pickle. So basically, Lee agreed. I didn't murder him. He didn't murder me. Successful internet meetup.
6 vessel non and
So
murder.
guys, I have power in my shop. I went from one single dual outlet to 100 amp sub panel, 5 20 amp 220 circuits, one 30 amp 220 circuit, and then like 9 quads of 110 volt. Like I'm happy as a clam or whatever. I don't know if clam had electrical.
Awesome.
So I'm super stoked. The whole shop has power more than I need. Almost every outlet is on its own circuit, which means I would have to run a bunch of power strips off of a single quad, running a bunch of machines just to trip it. So it's amazing. Everything's 20 amps and up. So yay. And then Lee stole my CNC. So, that was the deal.
I was joking.
So I gave him a quick.
I was just gonna give you a giant jar of pickles.
I did a story of them leaving. They were just like leaving, and I was like, "Guys, I'm sorry. I take back everything I said. I didn't mean all those things." So good laugh out of that. But yeah, he took the CNC. I'm actually really excited for him because they already have a laser. They do Cricut work too, and I think a CNC is just the next logical step. So it's pretty cool. And then my Journeyman, I got the Onefinity Journeyman landing in about 2 weeks. So I'm super stoked for that. I also have the 80 millimeter spindle mount for that. I'm going to be getting a spindle for that. Hey, if you got an 80 millimeter spindle, please reach out to me. Please recommend one because I was looking at the 110 volt, 2.4 kilowatt. Boy, I don't remember. That's the one that's on like
121 gigawatts.
Gigawatts. Yep, Marty. But I'm also looking at the 220 volt. So I hear good things about that one. It draws obviously less amps. And Lee told me you get charged by the amps, so it's actually better for your power bill to have 220 tools. Would have thought, yeah. So I thought Mike was a liar.
Use less amperage.
Meanwhile, Mike was right.
Yes, I'm quite smart.
Don't push it. But yeah, so I'm probably going to be getting a 220 spindle, but I'm looking at what's out there. Onefinity actually in their forum says that they're testing one internally, which I would love to get the one that they're going to recommend or test out, but they're dragging their feet, so I'm probably going to go for the Biga Boy. Aside from that, I got what else? I found out that the shop is not insulated. We open up some walls in some spots just to run some cables, and there's no insulation in there, so the winter's gonna suck.
It's all gypped.
It's
all got drywall. I mean,
well, it's drywall, and then it's a stud, and then it's another like 6-inch stud. So I have like, because it's on cinder blocks, and it's flush with the front and the back of the cinder block. So imagine like the thickness of a cinder block. That's my walls running the full. Or not full length, but one.
So you have an option
3
if
parts
you want
of
to
the
spend like $1,500 or $2,000.
Please go on.
You can find the bottom of all the cavities and the top of all the cavities, and you can spray in foam from the bottom.
That's what I was gonna do. Get the blower from Home Depot and just spray it in.
No, you can literally get aerosol cans. Like you can literally get it's like the expanding foam. You plug it into like a hole in the bottom. You spray it. It'll expand in the cavity. And then because the cavities of the studs have like a blocking in between them, so you have to go from the bottom and the top. But you spray it in, and then you like hold your finger over it. It'll fill up in that cavity by itself.
I played that game.
Yeah. Just put it in, and then you spray it.
Put your finger over
put your
it.
finger over it, and then I just can't keep going.
Stop moving, Kayla.
It's just gonna. Oh God. Okay.
But yeah, actually, so I didn't realize they make a spray foam one. I was thinking about getting the one where like you just cut out like a 4-inch port, and you get the machine from
the blown in stuff.
Yeah, the blown in stuff. That's what I was just gonna do because there's significant thickness there for insulation.
The foam stuff actually has extremely high R values. It's really good stuff. Okay, but it is pricey.
I might have to look into it. Honestly, I'm not opposed to like hiring someone to do it too. Yeah.
I'd spend the money just because you're going to be in there in the winter freezing your cojones off.
I still got to do the floor, and I want to paint the walls after that's all done. But whatever, that's later down the line.
You're not going to use that sprinkler we invented? Painting sprinkler you put in the middle of
just going around. That could be a thing, guys. That could be a thing.
This could be.
But yes, I'll have to insulate it eventually. So going back to the panel, we got 30 amp circuit because I have that 30 amp heater, which will probably still do fine for the shop that I have, but it'll probably be a little harder to. The thing is, I had to run it. Actually, no. Honestly, I didn't have to run it that much at the old shop. So in this new shop,
that thing's a 30 amp. That's going to be cranking heat.
It should be fine, yeah. But what I really want is a mini split. I'm already saving the money for it, so I want a mini split. I want AC and heat in there. I think there's like the Mr. Cool systems, but I don't know if those are just AC.
No, they're
Or-
both. It's a mini
they're
split.
both?
It's a dehumidifier, it's a heater, and a cooler.
So I'm gonna have to look into it. And I was
And
talking
an
to
ice
AJ
maker.
from Crafton and NJ, Ayo,
Espresso.
and he said that apparently they're just a lot of them are just 110. They're not even 220. So it might not be that bad of a hookup.
Hey, if you make it 220, you could save some money on your power bill. That's what I heard.
Yeah, if you probably want to use a
Damn with the
220
hot tips.
because you probably want like a 44,000 BTU.
Oh, I'd
Yeah,
want
for
something
yours.
significant because
So you probably want to spend like 1,400 or 1,500 bucks on it.
and like because I know we talked about the loft attics whatever
Yeah,
attic
yeah.
space at some point.
Mhm.
I want to talk. I have a buddy that's he's not really a structural engineer, but he does a lot of structural stuff, and I want to bring him in and have him take a look at the section of the wall. Basically, I might have some really high storage on one side, and it would be so high that I might want to like open up part of the ceiling and see if I can actually like have it and still be structurally sound because I don't want to mess with the house structure. But I don't know. Well, that's later down the line. I'd love to utilize that space in some way.
Those kits, though, the kits,
No,
those
please.
kits, they come. You get the condenser that goes on the outside. I mean, you have to drill like 2 holes in your wall.
Oh, that's
They
yeah.
come
Oh, that would
pre-charged.
be easy. No, but
They're
I was thinking.
so easy to do.
Oh, sorry, what I was getting at is if I expand the shop even higher and stuff, I'm gonna need more BTUs. So yeah, what I was saying is like you were right with like more BTUs. I think 220 is the way to go.
You've got it.
I got the power. That's the thing. And
Just
there's
fill one of your
the
boxes
best part
and
is
hardwire into it.
I invested now. It's so basically I ran we got a bigger panel too, so there's plenty of room in that panel. Oh, and the best part, I told you guys about my printing room and how everything was on a power switch. I would flip the switch and everything would turn off. Did I tell you? I
No.
think I told you. Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, the entire downstairs was in one power switch. So you flip the switch, all the outlets died, which means all the printers, everything turned off. Yeah, everything. So we disconnected that. We ran actually from the sub panel a separate 20 amp circuit to the outlets that are in here, and everything's separate from it.
Nice.
It's all disconnected, so none of that is happening too. So that's a lot of electrical and stuff about the house. I'm super excited. Aside from that, we finished up the floors. We're done painting. The floors look beautiful. This vinyl flooring is so good. And as far as what I've gotten done, I actually have tools in the shop, spinning some hot dog blades. My table saw is live. My bandsaw is good. It's not in its final spot, but I'm finally starting to put things where they belong. And as soon as I get all of the construction garbage out of the shed, because I have like flooring in there still, I'm gonna have 3 toilets that I gotta swap out. Hashtag Putin with Pete. Putin with Pete. And Putin with Pete. Putin with Pete. And as soon as I get that stuff out of there, I'm actually just gonna put in lumber racks. I got a bunch of those Hungry Dong racks, and
Still hungry.
I might actually put a set in the shop, and a set in a shed.
If you
So-
put those hungry dongs on a sled, they work really well.
Hungry
Oh,
Dong
it'd be
sled,
like a sled dong. A dong
Like a
sled.
sled? A dong- sled dong,
Sled dong.
dong, comma sled.
They have those
Sled
in,
Dong Millionaire. It's one of my favorite movies.
Sled dong.
It's a
Sled dongs
Bollywood
that they have in
offshoot.
Alaska, the sled dongs, the Alaskan sled dongs.
Oh, jeez, that's so dumb.
They'll pull
But
you
yeah.
for hundreds of miles.
Well, that's enough about. Sorry, that's a lot about the house. I'm just super excited. We had a lot of good
Yeah, no,
projects
keep talking
and
about it,
good forward momentum on the house. And yeah, we're going away for a little bit to Maine just to get away for a bit. I'm in a full mindset of like, there's crap to do. I should not be going on vacation right now, but the dates lined up, and honestly, I could use a break. I'm constantly exhausted. So
Hey, your floors
We'll do
look great, dude.
thank you. That flooring, super happy with it. It looks like walnut. The knots and everything. The whole thing is like it's just knots everywhere, which is very accurate for walnut.
Naughty walnut.
Naughty walnut. But enough about that. Dan,
can
what's
add
on your
walnut.
plate bench?
What's on my plate? Well, I have a lot on my plate, but
Yeah, big old
My-
Etsy plate.
my family and I we took another camping trip, so I've been gone since Monday, and it's one of the reasons why we're recording a little later on Wednesday. And while I was gone, like the Etsy orders are just piling up. It's crazy how much that has taken off. I am super grateful to everybody who's ordering from me. I don't know if it's listeners, followers, whatever, but thank you to everybody who's ordering. I'm having a hard time keeping up, but I will find a way. And then on top of that, I got 3 orders for the slide table that I made for my sectional couch. I don't know if you remember that. And
sure.
well, it was one guy, he wants 3 different ones. So, and he's in San Francisco. So I gotta make those, and I gotta figure out shipping. So yeah, that ought to be fun. And then other than that, I got another order for the mosaic, which I haven't done in forever for
That's
a
when I
local
fell in love with
person.
You make
When you did that
mosaics?
Yeah, I used to make mosaics all the time, and I'm thinking about, since I'm gonna make this like big mosaic. It's gonna be like a mountainscape. It's gonna be 48 inches by 25 or 24 inches or something like that. I think it's gonna be like a headboard. I think I might make some small ones and throw them up on Etsy and see what happens.
Yeah, man. You can have all those offcuts. Why not?
Yeah, some like little 8x8s or 10x10s or something like that. Something small that'd be easy to ship. And then I got my other client that's still waiting on like their 9 side tables, and they're all going to be different. So that's going to be super fun. I got the design for the first one. Yes, I'm slow. Finally finalized and everything. So I'm excited to start on that. I picked up some live edge slabs, little live edge slabs for the top of a couple of them.
Cool.
And I think it's going to be super cool. I think I mentioned this on the podcast last week. I'm going to design the first one in such a way that I can sell templates or files, so you could make it on the CNC yourself, or if you want to buy a template, you can cut the pieces out with a router. So I think that'll be cool. And it should be able to flat pack pretty easy, so I could ship it off if somebody wanted to buy a completed table. Other than that, my life hasn't been that exciting. I'm not moving or anything, so I don't have a whole lot to talk about there.
Yet.
Yeah, thank God.
The kitchen's dirty. I might clean that tomorrow. We'll see how it goes.
Can you make sure to story it? Make sure to story it.
I want to hear about Mike.
I just
I want to hear about Mike's week. What's that?
I just hope you make butter or whatever you did that one time. What'd you do that one time? Wasn't it butter?
I made butter. I made butter.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you like.
I might do it again if you push me hard enough.
Like a blender or something.
No one's daring you to make butter. I bet you can't make butter, Dunlap.
There's a lot of trash talkers out there said I couldn't make butter. I'm wrong.
A lot of haters.
And it's butter. A food processor.
How many million views does that have on TikTok? Oh, 0?
Oh, the butter? None.
0.
I didn't put the butter on TikTok. I should though.
Mistakes were made. All right, my week. Things are like really hectic right now. Coffee Custom Builds orders are really good, actually. I'm really excited about them. I've still got this giant table going into this bar. That job is just crazy delayed.
I saw your stories.
I'm sorry. That's that big table is just really delayed because of construction. And then
is that I'm sorry, is that not the table that reacted poorly with the sap or the
no, that's a different one. Yeah, that's totally different. That was from my sales tax guy. That one's from the acid and the
that was the one from last week, right?
Yeah, that I talked about last
week. Yeah.
It's shot. It's so shot. I'm just gonna have to pull it down and sand it. I don't know. There's no huge rush on that table, but I do want to get it out of there because I would like to get paid. So
it's like your cousin's coming in this weekend.
No, I've got to build a deck this weekend. I'll get into that. So so I got that big table. I got this poker table, which I finally started. I'm really, really excited about this poker table. I think it's going to look awesome. My design, I've got it finally all worked out. Well, I've had the design worked out. The engineering and like actual how everything's going to fit together, I finally got worked out. It kind of hit me last night how I wanted to do things. So that is going to be cool. I'm pretty sure I want to end up making one for myself because it's going to be sick looking. And then I got a local restaurant reached out to me. And if you're local, you probably heard of, well, if you're really local, you've heard of a place called Ciro's Pizza. They've been around for a long time. They've been around. Pete won't go there.
They make the pizzas.
Yeah.
I will never go there. Yeah.
I will never go. That's trash. No, they have really great pizza. And they opened up a second location pretty close to, like 20 minutes from us. But they called me and said, hey, we need 3 tables. We're in a rush, which is my favorite word to hear from a customer. We're in a rush. So can you get this done? Yeah, exactly. can you get this done pretty quickly? I said, I'm very booked out, but I very much want to help you out with this because commercial restaurant work is something I really would like to get more of. And I would just like to be a part of your business, blah, blah, blah. So I I told him that. I gave him the price and they accepted my quote and gave me the deposit, and their material is getting delivered tomorrow. So I'm going to be building 3 walnut tabletops. They're straightforward. It's like 2 of them are 30 by 48 and one of them's 30 by 66. Nothing.
You're just building the tabletops?
Just the tops. She's got
That's awesome.
She's got a person fabricating the bases because I said I can get the bases. She said I've already got someone working on it. I wanted to spread it out so I don't have too much work on one person. So because they're like ready to hit the button on the open sign. So
Nice.
I'm going to be delivering those next week. And then
is that just 8-quarter walnut then?
Yeah, I just did 8-quarter walnut. I've got
Nice.
I got 12 sticks of 8-quarter walnut coming tomorrow.
Nice.
So I'll be able to make everything out of that. They're all 6 inches wide. And anyway, very simple panels gluing up. I'm just gonna joint edges. I'm gonna throw them on the CNC, let the CNC flatten the panels, flip it over, flatten the other side, and then I'm gonna sand it all up, and then I'm gonna get the slight round over, and then I'll spray it. It's gonna be money. So that'll go good. And then I've got this table that I'm supposed to be doing with Mutual. Well, it's actually not Mutual of Omaha. It's actually the company.
You're out of your territory.
It's the company that owns the building. It's actually the property management company that owns the building that Mutual of Omaha
was invented in.
Their new headquarters out of in Topeka, Kansas, is actually my customer. I'm supposed to be doing this table for them. Things got delayed because of construction delays, but part of that is they had opened up. Well, they have these ceiling tiles that they needed duplicated. They asked me if I could do it. I said, shoot me some information. I made a 3D model of it, and they said that's perfect. And they needed me to make a couple hundred of them, and they accepted the quote for that. So I'm going to be working on that this week. I'm making it out of 1/2-inch ultralight MDF. I'm just cutting it on the CNC. They are getting them shipped to them, and then they have someone spray painting them to match the color that's already existing in there for the tile. So it's going to be a good CNC job. That'll be running in the mornings while I'm kind of out working. It's a 12 by 12 tile, 10 by 10 grid of holes, 1/4-inch holes. So 100, there's 4 grids. There's 400 holes per 12-inch 12 by 12 tile.
Lee would just use the drill press for that.
Yeah, Lee would drill press it, but I'm going to use the CNC. I ordered a bunch of bits from Vortex, drilling bits. So I ran the program on it. I'm running drilling operations for the first time. I've never done that before. So it's going to be a drilling operation in Aspire, and it's 68,000 holes I'm going to be drilling.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I'm not. My robot is. So it's 400 per tile.
Could you imagine doing that with a drill?
No chance. So my contact there, my guy, he was like, my brother-in-law my brother said he'd just do it himself. And originally they were thinking it was 40 holes per tile because someone did the decimal wrong. And then we're like, oh wait, this is 400 per tile. And there's 200 of them. So it was, I guess it's 80,000 holes. Never mind. There's 80,000 holes that's got to go into that thing.
Wow.
So it's a lot. Anyway, that's gonna be cool.
That's a hard no for me.
Yeah. So CNC is gonna do it. It's gonna be good. I'm really excited to work with them some more because so far I haven't been able to do anything with them. We've been talking for a few months, and I'd really like to get going with some more stuff with them.
Hey Dan.
And then
I have a question. Have you worked out how long that's going to take on the CNC?
Yeah, it's going to be an hour and 40 minutes per sheet. That'll be 21 per hour and 40 minutes. 21 panels.
So you'll need to do like almost 10 sheets.
It's 8 sheets. Yeah, it's 10 sheets. It's 10 sheets. I'm going to give them all the extras, and it's about almost 20 hours of CNC time.
Are you doing that with tabs, or how you?
Yeah, I'll tab them, and then I'll flush them up. I'll just I'll just sit down one day. I'll turn on some Island of the Sun, some Weezer, and I'll just put it on.
I love that song. That's my song, dude.
Flush trim some things. So
like you know me.
It's gonna be good. So but then on let's see, I don't know, sticking to my diet. I haven't really done anything. I haven't diverted from that at all. I've been sticking to that. I feel great. Which is good that I feel great because I've been sleeping really good because it's been really stressful with the house. I'll go into the house stuff. I talked to the guys about that. But we found out that the shop power is not nearly as good as we had hoped. Or not, I shouldn't say we were told. So we were told that the shop has 125 amps. The sub panel is 125 amp sub panel. It only has 40 amps going to the sub panel, which I don't know what they were like. They were hoping they could run their hair dryer and a microwave at the same time. I don't really understand why someone would put 40 amps into a shop. It makes no sense to me. But either way, it's only got 40 amps. So there's still some information I need to figure out. I don't know if it's running a conduit from the shop to the house, which if it is, it looks like it's an 1.5 inch conduit, but I got to get some more information. But the seller, they aren't being difficult, but they're in the middle of trying to pack up and get out of there. They're not like making time to find out for me. So they don't care. They're just trying to sell the house. So I need to find out if this conduit. My big concern is that they just buried Romex in the ground, which you can do. There is direct bury Romex that you can use. That does exist. But if they did that, that means I have to dig a trench from the main to the shop, which is about 200 feet. And that's going to have to be about 2 feet down for 200 feet. So that's going to be a nightmare if I had to do that. So I'm trying to get it to where the power company is going to run power directly from the pole straight, not Pete, from the power pole straight to the shop.
Running power to New Jersey is gonna be a lot. Just saying.
No. So I put my application in for that today. The county says it's going to be smooth and easy on their end. I just really hope PG&E will.
I hope the Polish embassy is gonna allow it.
Yeah, I really got to really smooth, soften up
stuff.
those poles. So all the pole stuff. What?
That's such a smart joke. I love it. Wait, dumb. That's the word I'm looking for.
Oh yeah, dumb. Whoops, that's
Dumb.
right. I was just backwards. So yeah, I'm waiting to hear on that. And then we got inspections were done. That's always kind of stressful. There's nothing like of serious concern about the inspections. I mean, the house has dry rot, which older houses do, which is whatever. It's just gonna happen. The roof,
it's not going to fall down or anything, right?
No, the foundation's fantastic. The roof's is old. We're gonna have to get that replaced pretty soon. So we might kind of just do that right out of the gate. Get the we might have the whole side, all the siding redone and the roof redone. So the whole envelope is done for the whole thing. So we don't have to worry about that for a long, long time. But the thing that did come up today is if you're from California, especially Northern California, you know how bad the fires are up here, and you've heard about people's homeowners insurance is being canceled all over the place because of fire hazards. So this house the property falls under an area that has a high fire hazard. So my insurance guy, who I've been friends with for coming up on 20 years now, we used to work together at the beer company. It's been a long time. He's my insurance broker. He gave me a quote today, and I almost threw up when I saw the number from him. It was a lot of money. So
So basically, you're not friends anymore.
We're done. He's dead to me. No. So we have to. He called me. He's like, Mike, I wanted to call you before I send you this turd sandwich of an email I'm about to send you. And I was like, oh my God. So we're looking at other options right now, because there are some insurance companies that carry their own fire insurance. It's a real pain in the neck. It's real disheartening. The last 24 to 48 hours have been really, really frustrating with the house. So, but we're pushing forward. It's going to happen. It's just going to be, it's just a lot of bad pills to swallow. So, other than that, that's kind of my week. Sorry, that was kind of really long.
No, I feel like we all had long-winded ones.
Yeah, I mean,
well,
so
I didn't. I never do.
I'm gonna be like really like positive. I'm gonna be real positive about the house. So I was there yesterday for the
be positive. That's like it's awesome. It's exciting, and honestly, nothing you told me is that's scary.
Yeah, it's just expensive, like the power thing. Honestly, like I have like a ceiling.
But what's money? You just make more of it.
Right.
I have at the Bear Den, and you got a new roof.
I have like a ceiling of what I like will comfortably pay for this, and it's kind of high. Like getting a 200 amp panel of its own panel for Coffee Custom Builds, or possibly even a 400 amp panel with 3-phase. That's going to make my future so much less difficult to deal with if I can get the power I need out there. So this could ultimately, I mean, realistically, this is the best route that I can go, and I'm gonna do everything I can to make it happen. So anyway, but the positive stuff is yesterday I was sitting at that property, and I'm just like, I just am so excited about that property in the house. The property is so sick. Like, it is such a cool piece of property. It's got so much potential. There's so much. I was just walking around I walked the whole fence line, all 5 acres. Just I wanted to see where the fences were down. There's only like 4 spots where the fence is in bad shape that I'm gonna have to fix up. It's just the T-posts that get knocked into the ground with the wire. So it's gonna be easy to fix. I'm gonna let Luna's gonna be able to roam around the property all she wants. She's gonna have 5 acres. Jack's gonna be able to roam around. There's all kinds of stuff. There's a huge play structure on the property.
Free range children. They're the best.
Yeah.
They taste the best.
It was
Good
Lord. It was so it's a little gamey. A little gamey.
Gay you?
Great college. Gay U is a great college. I got my doctorate there. So the
PhD.
PhD. The D is capital for sure. No,
Michael Coffee,
PhD.
PhD.
Oh my god.
No, so
This is where everyone almost crashes their car for no reason.
yeah, everyone's like, I hate the show. No, it was like almost 100 when I got there. It was middle of the day. It was super hot out. And I don't know if the shop is really well insulated, but I walked into that shop and it was maybe 70 degrees in that shop. So I was like, oh, this is a nice departure from my shop because even with all the insulation in there, it does a good job. But like right now when it's 100 every single day, it just never cools down. The heat just always stays in there. I can't get it out. I get up at night before I go to bed. I open up both the garage doors, the back shop door to let heat in and out. And then I open up the loft and stuff. It just never cools down.
You know, they make these big ass fans you can put in your roof and it sucks out all the hot air.
Oh, right. What's it called?
Really? What is
I
it
think
called?
It's called a big ass fan.
I mean, he could say it. It's actually a company.
Yeah, it is.
Big
ass fan.
Big ass fans. They
Yeah,
make,
that is a real company. I'd love to get one of those in like a real shop someday, like a big red iron shop.
hit us up, guys.
Yeah.
Sponsorship.
Well, one per episode.
Actually, Mike, sorry to interrupt you, but speaking of insulation in the shop too, the insulation in my shop is so bad. The doors themselves, I can see light peeking through, and it's so bad that when I rapidly open the door to the house, I actually see the door. The garage doors like move because they're not tight up against the seal. It's so bad. I have to redo the entire seal. I have to like adjust the doors to be flush up against the wall. Anyways, back to you.
That's not normal.
The garage doors
No.
on this house there's a big roll up door for the shop and then a garage door for the garage. And the garage is actually really big. The garage is almost a 4-car garage, like double-sided side tandem. It's big. But they've kind of walled off some of it because the kitchen's kind of small, but they've turned a lot of the garage into like a pantry, which we're going to keep using. It's awesome. Like you can keep all your dry goods out there and stuff. But it's a
Pantry in a garage? That's like something that old Peter would do at his old house.
Old Peter.
Oh,
Sounds like a terrible book.
Sounds like a prepper closet.
Old Peter.
Harry Potter and old Peter.
Going on. Anyway, the moral of the story is I'm really excited about the house, but there's always these Pete just went through it. Every time you buy a house, there's all these emotions, all the happy stuff, and then all the road bumps or all the
the reality checks.
Yeah, the reality checks were like, God, that's right. I have to pay a ton of money for all this stuff. So
It's like when you said the insurance thing, I was like, what? That
California
number
problem for sure.
Yeah.
I could either buy myself my dream truck or pay my fire insurance. That's kind of where it's at. Like that's where it's at. It really
sucks, but it's right.
That shouldn't be funny.
It's
pretty
true.
funny.
So anyway, let's get on to questions.
Well, I hope that truck could drive through a fire
kind of
and tow a CNC.
Ooh, have you thought about buying a fire truck?
Ooh, that's a great idea. I could keep one on the property.
Big brain Dunlap.
Did I tell you that the insurance guys said that if I can get the local water utility to put a fire hydrant on the street, it would save all the people on that whole street 60 to 70% on their insurance. I'm like, why haven't they just done this? It's because there's no fire hydrant for like 2 miles. So they have to bring in water while the fire hydrant
my
is so
goodness.
high.
So you're saying you're going to have to lay some
Keep
pipe?
it a bucket of water by the driveway.
Yeah. Guys, I don't know why I didn't think about this stuff. I'm so glad we workshopped this here right now on the show.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You leave a bucket of water outside though in California, like an hour, it's gone.
No.
Yeah. No, it just evaporates. Or it's in Nevada.
All our water goes to Nevada no matter
Yeah.
what. All right, listen. This first
right.
question is from
Jeez,
Andrew.
40-minute what's on the
With the
bench?
Bills.
What happened
Yeah.
to us?
It's a long one. It's a long one. Let's get into this. We only
All
got
right,
2
let's go.
questions called in and then a written in one. Here we go.
Hey guys, it's Andrew from Smith Builds. I want to follow up on a question from episode 73. You guys talked about the preference between a router table versus having a router in the wing of a table saw. I think the question in episode 73 was your preference if space was not an issue. Flip it around. What if space was an issue? What's your preference then? As a follow-up to that, what are your suggestions, if you have any, on tips or tricks to build a router table into the wing of a table saw? Thanks.
Dan?
Pete.
Thank you.
Pete?
I changed my answer from
was
last
he
week.
waving around and I missed it?
I was doing one of these. I was like,
I'm
check,
sorry.
I was doing check, please. I actually changed my answer from last week. I legitimately was driving today and I was thinking about this driving home, and I don't think I would do a separate router table. I might actually entertain the idea of a shaper. But the fact of the matter is I'd probably get a slightly wider table for my table saw and still do it in my wing, because the full built-in table that I have a, not just like a little insert, whatever, like I have a table built into my side table. And if I was still able to take, a 36-inch cut, whatever, on a table saw, that'd be great. However, I find myself to almost never be using the full length of my, full length of my table saw.
I'm sorry, Pete. I don't.
No,
was
I
trying
heard
to
it
figure out
too.
What it was.
So
I
distracted.
forgot Dan has a cat for a second.
Yeah,
and I'm looking
Dan's
around
got
my
a
house
cat.
like, how is there an effing cat in my house?
What's going on? Mike's like,
I'm freaking
what
out.
was happening?
I'm so sorry, Pete. I'm so sorry.
No,
It's Paco. Of course, it's Paco. Classic Paco.
But-
Old Paco.
I think I kind of want to go against the grain as per usual and
Shocking.
say, even if whether it's a big shop or a small shop, I think a router, like a router table inside the wing of your table saw, is a great idea no matter what, because it's still like that. A router table is still a lot of shop space. You got a plumb electrical and dust collection to it, and if you don't have it, in a long run, it's kind of a pain in the butt. So in a small shop, 100% I'm doing it in a table saw, or I've even seen some guys do it in a workbench, but nah. I mean, unless you don't have a table saw that can put it in a wing. As far as what you would recommend, I think Mike had a pretty good lift from the beginning, and he got a better lift. Dan, I don't think he knows what a router is, or he doesn't know what a router table is. He's got 12 routers, but he doesn't seem to want to put it in a router table until recently.
I have a router table.
Until recently. Calm down. Let me finish the sentence. But
I will come through the screen.
Come at me, bro. I was using a Craig insert plate in first a router table that I built, then in the side, of my table saw, and that I basically did not use it. I used it only when I had like, I got to do this 40 times. Let me use the router table, and I would set it. But basically, I had to manually adjust the height each time and like lock the body of the router in there. It's not worth it. Spend the extra $50 to $100, buy a router lift that actually has a hand crank in it. Jessen makes amazing ones. There's some other companies out there too. I think Rockler makes one. Craig, I think, actually does make one too. But just get a router lift. It's totally worth it. Find out what the thickness is. Route it out a little thicker if you need, and then put some shims in there or some tape, and that way you can have it level. The really good ones, like from Jessen, will actually come with adjusting screws, and you can set it to the right height. Probably the best $200 I've ever spent at my shop. That's it. Dan, now back to you.
Well, I think his original question was flip the question from last week, and what if space is an issue, which it currently is for me. Space is an issue. So I'm putting it in my table saw, which is where it currently is. And the second part of his question is, how would you go about putting it in your table saw?
Basically. What are your recommendations for how to
what
do
I
it?
did was I double-sided taped it down to my table saw wing, right, like perfectly in the middle, with the lift facing up, and I star bond like some scrap pieces around it, so I could actually put the perfect shape on my table saw wing when you lift out the lift, all I have to use is a templating bit to cut out the space where the router lift will go, and it fits in perfect. And it was like a 5-minute job. It was so easy. I should have done it a long time ago.
Did Nick Brim do it?
No, actually, Aaron Grapp was.
Oh, that's right. She had someone else do it.
No, he was just over. He was just over.
That's how I did it as well. Yeah, that's that.
I stole his idea for a fence, and
I stole Dan's idea when I did it.
So I was able to incorporate a little bit of dust collection into my fence. So, Mike.
Well, if I'm currently don't have enough space, so I have it in my table saw, and I just can't stand it. I just don't like having it there. Just can't stand it. So no. And then how would I do it? I did it the same way originally when I made my table saw as Dan did. In fact, I made a YouTube video about it. It was one of my very first YouTube videos I ever made like 2 years ago. Yeah, it was of how I did that templating. I put the thing in there upside down, and I just put scrap wood around it, and then I used it as a template. So I use the piece as a template. It's like one of my very first YouTube videos outside of my introduction of myself to my channel. It's my number 2 video. Anyway, but yeah, that's how I would do it, is just make that quick templating bit. It works really well. If you want a video on it, there's one on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, go watch Mike's video.
It's actually, anyway, yeah, it's done pretty good. The next message is from Nick Potter. Grab a bag of popcorn and maybe a catheter.
It's not that long.
Maybe a catheter.
All right,
I got a
go
bucket
grab
of
a beer and go to the
Potter
bathroom.
Creek Designs, just another Nick on another Woodshop podcast. Anyways, my question is, nobody really likes sanding, right? That is, unless you have a Mirka sander, which I've heard is so smooth that you can operate with just one finger. Now, what if you could somehow attach a Mirka sander to the spindle of a CNC, or obviously the spindle isn't running, and run a finishing sanding pass over, a big wide slab or a tabletop or something that's in the CNC? How come nobody has tried that yet? Well, I know what you're thinking, right? Either, hey, he's on something, or, you idiot, you can't do that. Just use a cantilever drum sander and rotate it, after a couple of passes, which for a one-man shop with a big, heavy, wide slab, ain't happening. So I'm 20% sure this would work. And I've spent upwards of 2.5 minutes on YouTube trying to see if I could find anything, and I couldn't. So, all this being said, I think we could be due for an experiment. And I know you all are busy, which is fine. I get it. So, I will volunteer Pete to design and 3D print a clamp to hold a Mirka sander to the gantry of a CNC for a test. Because I don't have a Mirka sander, and I also don't have a 3D printer. So, what do you think?
Pete, since you've been,
Call me out, bro.
mid tribute.
So, I mean, I hate to be the first one to do this to you, man, but
No, you don't.
I don't. I am enjoying this immensely. They already have those in many mills
They're a thing.
and flattening slab
Speaking
place
of Mirka,
things.
they have a robot that does it.
Yeah, like it's actually Mirka. Mirka literally has a robot that does it. They have
Mirka has a robot that does
that
it.
literally does 5D sanding. It's crazy. There was actually at AWFS there was
6 in a row, actually 60.
6 in a row. Yeah.
Throwback.
Throw back. I love it. Oh god, that was so good. I totally forgot about that. AWFS actually had a it was a robot that you could spray a pattern and then the robot would just repeat the pattern exactly the way you did it. It could be adapted to sanding and other things, but at its most basic CNC style setup, like what you're talking about, they literally have that. And Dan, I believe I'm gonna toss it to you. I believe they already the guy that was at your meetup, he has one. And Mike, you were chatting him up for a bit.
No, his isn't a CNC.
Is it not a CNC or
like though? Isn't it?
No,
it does
it's
go
not-
back and
there's
forth,
No
doesn't it?
automation. There's no automation to it. It's literally just a gantry. It's a slab flattener. It's Zach from
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Rustic
Rustic
Lumber
lumber store.
He's he's got, it's called a joint of wood. It's 12 inch
Joint of wood.
planer. That's what it's called, a joint of wood. The guy who makes them, that's what they're called.
I'll
Joint of
stop the
wood.
giggling. I'm sorry.
It's a 76-inch wide bed that you can get in an 11. I've looked at this because I want to buy one. You can get an 11, 15, or 19 foot length bed. It's on a gantry. You manually move it across the X and Y
Still
and the
not
Z.
too bad. That could be easily
And it's a 12
like,
inch
modified.
It's a 12-inch planer. It's a 12-inch planer head, helical head, and you lower it down to the wood and you slide it manually. And then you pull a lever. It rotates the helical head around, and then there's a drum sander head on the top, and you can run that down and sand it. So that thing is something I really want to get, but it's not automated on any level. So, but anyway.
But there are automated ones out there. I've
Yeah,
seen.
it seems
I'm
like that
literally
could be
looking at-
automated.
Yeah, if you hired someone, you wouldn't have to do it. Someone else would.
Yeah, there you go. See?
But, doesn't Black Forest Sawmill have one too, or they might just have a flattening one. I don't know if they
I'm
have
pretty
a,
sure they have the big slab miser, but by Wood Miser, which is a flattener. I'm pretty sure.
but they also have like one that like goes back and forth and just like CNCs it.
I don't
I don't know if it's for sanding or if it's a planer head on it, but Nick, they do make items like this. And as far as me designing one, I mean, I'm already designing some stuff for the Merca, and I've thought about designing something to attach like that, but I haven't tried it yet. Maybe I will, and then take the full credit for it.
Benz
there you go.
Tooling, BENZ, BenzTooling.com has a full line of CNC attachment heads for sanding. Multiple different sanding styles too. They've got a small belt sander, they've got a square sander, a random orbit round sander. They have a bunch of options.
So let me ask this. I'm not on the website, but would you need to add some sort of like resistance spring on the attachment so that like it keeps even pressure?
I know what
I
you're
think
saying.
you have to.
That's probably smart. Yeah.
I think there has to.
I mean, if you're going to design something, Pete, you might want to think about that.
It looks so the Livello. Oh, anyway, whatever they have on here, it looks like the head unit has the spindle, which needs much less power. I'm looking at this. I'm not giving a technical readout on the diagram, so this is based on what I can see. The spindle. No, the spindle is. The spindle is.
You need to watch the video, folks.
The spindle is down below, and it looks like there's some sort of articulated shock absorbing part on top that it looks to be, it has that built into it. So there's two of them, and it's in this, there's a middle cylinder, right? And that's on a shock absorbing thing, and the top and bottom are on a separate mechanism that goes up and down, and that's
So good. So good. I mean,
seriously, that's what
the
it looks
worst
like.
part is it was also an accurate description.
That's a great visual. Thank you, Mike.
They call it the shake sander.
Yeah. and the on button, you have to reach behind it and
Yeah,
go.
you can't actually. You have to go underneath and around the back.
It's
And
like
you
a
have to,
on-
there's actually two buttons. You got to alternate back and forth for a
Yeah.
minute. That's gonna do something to our YouTube channel for sure.
Demonetized.
No, anyway,
Dan, do you have anything to
they
add?
exist.
I don't. I added my only thought, like the pressure spring.
It looks like
That's all I
that's
got.
on there. But he said he searched Instagram, which is funny because you can't search Instagram. There's no search feature on Instagram.
Hashtags, I
So
guess hashtags.
No. So basically, all you needed to do, Nick, was search a search engine, which is what I did. And I typed in CNC sander, and about 70,000, yeah, like
Google
70,000 links came up. So
Google.
he literally, hey, but Nick,
It's
you know
French.
what? It doesn't matter because you called in with a question. and
beautiful.
We appreciate that.
And
So
we
you're a
appreciate it.
beautiful man.
Hats off to you, sir.
Hats off to you. So thank you for giving us this fun run of ridiculous shake CNC weight jokes. So we have a question from, oh, are you kidding me?
We have a
accidentally went-
write-in.
I got it. Yeah, I have it up.
Okay.
All right, so we have a question from Chris Wilson over on a Patreon page, which
Rebel Wilson's brother.
yeah, exactly. Yep. Basically, he's a
she
CPA.
the-
He's a weekend woodworker.
She's the
Yes.
one.
Side boob.
She's the actress.
So he's a CPA. He's a weekend woodworker, weekend warrior, occasional evening woodworker, and there's times that
lover.
he gets into projects and things just go wrong. You cut something, it's too short. You go, damn it, You throw that away. You cut another piece. It's also too short. You find out that you don't have enough wood. You got to go to the lumber big box store because lumberyard's closed. And it's like one thing after another is just not working out. He's basically asking, have you guys ever had a project? Have we ever had a project that is just constantly going wrong, or it's a day of things going wrong or a weekend of things going wrong, where like, how do we deal with that? How do we deal with like a continuous failure, whether it's just the stars aligning or it's just you making mistakes or whatever, but like mistake after mistake, or like something going wrong after another, after another, after another. And like, how do we deal with that? Do we just walk away? Do we, whatever? Mike, why don't you start it off?
I have a tabletop in my shop right now that I will be finishing for the 3rd time this week. So
Oof.
yes, it definitely happens. I had a coffee table that I made a herringbone coffee table that was nothing but problems.
The ash one?
Yeah. I've had I had Max Jensen's sign that I made for him. There was issues with that. I made it the first time, and after everything was glued up, the thing turned into a taco. I don't even know if I shared that. But then I made it and shipped it to him, and UPS drove over it with a forklift. And the thing was shattered in a million places. So things happen, you know. These things really happen, and they really do suck. And you know, I mean, when you do multiple projects a day, some of them are going really good. Sometimes you got ones that are like turds, you know, they're turd sandwiches. And it just happens so much now that, yeah, the best thing you got to do is just set that project aside, work on the project that's giving you like the good energy, the positive energy, and get back to the one that's giving you bad energy the next day. That's the best thing you can do. Because otherwise you're just going to spiral into rage. And then eventually you're going to walk in minutes before your podcast starts, just angry as F. Sorry, that was my shot at Dan. No,
Damn.
You just get no, you seriously, you have to just set it aside and walk away because the project's right, Dan. I mean, they'll just eat you alive.
They will. Yeah, you asked which ones have gone bad. Let me think. I think it was all of them. All
some point, all of them.
I've had problems with, and like Mike says, you have to walk away.
Which projects went bad? The ones I invoiced for.
I will just say, okay, this is enough, because like if you're frustrated, you will just keep making mistakes.
Yeah.
Because your brain isn't working right, and mistakes can lead to like injuries, and you can cut a finger off or something.
Yeah.
No good is going to come of it. So just stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and style that you're used to. I look funny.
Very nice delivery.
No, but yeah, set everything aside, go inside, play some Xbox, play some NBA 2K21, maybe some GTA, shoot up some 8-year-olds.
DTF. Oh, that was bad. Terrible timing.
In GTA.
All right.
Pete, what would you do in such a situation?
Man, like you guys said, just you gotta walk away, because I think we're all very similar in that, like, we're pretty chill dudes.
Super hot.
Super
crazy
hot.
Good bodies.
Crazy good bodies. Great in a sack dudes, but like the 90%. And then if you get us to 91% though, something's breaking. Like we're all like very chill, but then there's like a threshold where we will just literally we'll take that project and smash it on like the side of the tables or just throw it across the room or whatever. So like you need to walk away, because like, you know, yeah, some people might not deal with it that way, but like I legitimately have, like, I've in the past like picked up a project, something I was working on, and just like lost it, because like so many things have gone wrong, and just throw it. Then I walk away. I should have walked away and then not thrown it, but you know, first throw, then walk away. But like, yeah, that's the thing. You walk away, you go, I need a fresh mind. I need a different outlook. I need to cool off. I'm putting it aside. And I'll either call it a day in a shop, or I'm going to work on something else. I might need a quick win, especially if it's a long project. Like Dan, you can relate with some of the bigger projects you've done. Like if everything's going wrong with this one thing for the day, I got to go build a shop jig.
Right. I got to make a cutting board or something.
I got to make something in less than an hour that'll like satisfy my I did something today feeling.
I've done that.
and then walk away because I'm walking
Quick
away on
wins.
a high. Quick
Yes,
wins.
Make a quick win project. A
All
cutting
about the
board.
quick wins.
A,
And I highly recommend a quick win.
bottle opener. Something simple
Yeah.
yet creative, quote
Or
unquote.
organize your shop, or make a jig, or make an organizer, or knock off something quick off the honey-do list, whatever. Just get yourself a quick win, get yourself in a right mental space, get the hell out of that shop. That's it.
I don't know about you, but my honey-do list is I want a new kitchen. So that's not.
All right, tell Kayla she needs to give you a list of things, not just new kitchen. I want this kind of top. I want these cabinets. I want this moved here. I want this. So you can check them off.
All right, I'm
All
gonna.
you're gonna do is rip those faces off, sand those things down, get some wood filler in there, finish them, make some new fronts.
I cannot wait.
Easy.
We're gonna sand all the fronts and repaint them. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
In your house?
Yeah, our house,
Okay.
not
And that
your
he's
house.
getting
I'm
some
not
pictures.
coming over to Nebraska.
I thought he was
Get
coming.
out of here.
Like, did Kayla book you? What?
I'm coming in
All right.
September.
Listen, I don't want to cut this thing short, but I gotta cut this thing short. I gotta go hop on a phone
No,
call.
no,
with the
you got a
realtor.
thing.
We're gonna have a thing. So, guys, and I'm talking to the listeners. I need you to remember this one thing: a circle of hot dogs. That's all
Wait,
we want
before
you-
we go though, can we go around just very quickly, to our favorite 100 moments from this show? Go.
before you go into your meeting.
Before you go. All right, let's wrap it
No.
up.
All right, let's wrap it up. Yeah, guys.
Leave us vague reviews.
Yeah,
Vague reviews.
Pete,
5-star
it's-
vague
listen,
reviews.
Listen. It's really important to Pete that you leave a vague
It
review.
is.
Like, I started listening to AWP, and my insurance rates dropped by 30%. Something just like
Yeah.
doesn't make sense, you know. I no
Yeah.
longer am allergic to eggs. So if you could just do that,
That's a good one.
if you could just please make Pete happy and leave some really random reviews that make no sense.
Just-
Pete would definitely love it. I
I
want
just
to see him
thought that
happy.
I like we want to read them off once in a while. Mike, you had a good one you read off earlier.
Yeah, I was in the pre-show though. I need to
Yeah,
remember to
in the
do
pre-show.
reviews thing.
I
Yeah.
guess you guys have to
I
listen to
guess-
the pre-show.
I guess if I read them on the show, people would probably encourage more to actually. That's got to be so boring though, as a listener though, listening to guys.
Well,
reading
if they
reviews about their
start
own
doing
show.
that, maybe we
Yeah, if they're
will start
funny.
reading them.
Yeah.
If they're
like-
funny, we're gonna read them no matter
My
what. I should
marriage
really
was in
help them.
shambles, and then I heard
Then they
Dan
never
talking
read.
about his day, and you know what? She's right. Sheila.
Sheila. Great. I love Step Brothers. God. I mean the other guys, not Step Brothers, the other guys. Anyway, share the show. Check us
Share
all
the
out
show.
on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Patreon,
Etsy.
Etsy, Pinterest, Facebook, Jobber. No, check us all out. We love you guys very much. Thank you for listening to the show.
Hashtag
Be
Jack
sure to
Lives
share.
Matter.
Oh God. Okay, bye. That was awkward.
Now, bye bye. Love you long
Call
time.
to last
now.
week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.